Hello, everybody. I'm Simon Preston, and welcome back to Reggae Boys Commentary. This is the platform where we come together to discuss everything in relation to Jamaican football. This is your hub for everything Jamaican football related. How's everybody doing? I hope you all are doing well. Well, it's almost time for camp. And as we know, the CONCACAF Nations League has a new cycle for 2024-2025. In this video, we're going to look at all of that information. We're going to break down all of these elements so that everybody is aware exactly what Jamaica needs, what needs to happen, and how can we go about accomplishing it as well. So all of these aspects will be discussed in this video, okay? So I do think that reminders are good, and reminders are an element that we're going to go through as well within this video in particular. So first thing first, how did Jamaica do in the last edition of the CONCACAF Nations League? Well, in the last edition of the CONCACAF Nations League, remember Jamaica finished third, our highest ever finish in the competition's history, and also bronze medalist. Jamaica's first medal in, that is right, 7 years. The first time that Jamaica is picking up a medal in a competition in 7 years. So for me, as I've always stated, medals, trophies are a definition of success. So you have to say that there has been success as well. And you have young players getting medals around their necks for their first time. And can you imagine the young players that were receiving these medals? Dexter Lambakisa, 20, Kahim Dixon, 19, Karoy Anderson, 19, Tavon Gray, 22, or maybe he was 21 when he received that medal. You understand what I'm saying? Shaquan Davis, 23. Absolutely fantastic for these players to get medals. Demarai Gray, just 14 games in, well, prior to that game in particular, 11 games in for Jamaica, and he's getting his first medal. You know what I'm saying? So for me, those are the things that really, really make me happy. So, as we know, this CONCACAF Nations League, it's a different cycle. So this is the 2024-2025 edition of the CONCACAF Nations League. It's the same format as last year, where we have a group stage and you have the top two teams that advance to the next round of the competition, meaning the quarterfinals. So if you look on your screen right now, you'll see exactly what I'm referring to. Jamaica's in Group A of League A of the Nations League. And again, there's going to be teams in this group that Jamaica will not face. Because remember, Jamaica did not face Suriname or Cuba in the previous edition of the Nations League. In this edition of the Nations League, Jamaica will not face French Guyana and Jamaica will not face Trinidad and Tobago. So Jamaica will not face Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica will not face French Guyana. So therefore, with that being said, Jamaica will face three opponents: Honduras, Cuba, and Nicaragua. One from the CFU and two from the Central American regions, Honduras and Nicaragua. You have to say, in terms of recent history, recent form, Jamaica has a very good record against Honduras, actually. Jamaica in the last 6 games are actually unbeaten against Honduras. The last time that Jamaica faced Honduras in 2021, Jamaica recorded a 2-0 victory, as I'm sure you'd remember Kemar Roof and O'Neill Fisher on the score sheet for the Jamaicans. The last time both teams met in the Nations League last year, Demarai Gray scored on his home debut against Honduras in a 1-0 victory at the National Stadium. So that is something for everybody to be aware about. Cuba, Jamaica's last appearance against Cuba would have been 2015, where Jamaica recorded a 3-0 victory at the Montego Bay Sports Complex. So that was the last time that Jamaica took on Cuba. So again, Jamaica is in no control of Trinidad and Tobago's results, and Jamaica is in no control of French Guyana's results. So just put that in your head right now. Okay? Jamaica is in no control of the results of Trinidad and Tobago and French Guyana. Jamaica will play Cuba at home, but Jamaica will not play Cuba away. Did you hear what I just said? Jamaica will play Cuba at home, but Jamaica will not face Cuba away. Jamaica will face Nicaragua away, but Jamaica will not face Nicaragua at home. And Jamaica will face Honduras home and away. The top two teams advance to the quarterfinals of the competition. And once you win your quarterfinal series, not only do you qualify for the Nations League finals, but you also qualify for the 2025 edition of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. So in order to qualify automatically for the CONCACAF Gold Cup next summer, we need to advance to the semifinals, or in a sense, win our quarterfinals. The teams that do not win their quarterfinals, they go to a Gold Cup playoff, which will be played in March of next year. So a reminder of Jamaica's matches: Cuba at home, Honduras away, Nicaragua away, and Honduras at home. So that is something I want everybody to be mindful and aware about. And Nicaragua, the away game in October 10, their home matches take place at the Estadio Nacional de Fútbol. And the Estadio Nacional de Fútbol is a Astro turf. Just so that everybody is aware. The World Cup qualifier that they had recently against Montserrat took place on that surface as well, so that everybody is aware. Cuba, Jamaica will face Cuba. The last time that Jamaica faced Cuba in Jamaica, that would have been February 2012, where Jorginho James scored for Jamaica. You guys remember that? Yeah, quite a day that was indeed. So Cuba, they survived relegation from League A of the Nations League last campaign, and they have a pretty strong squad. They've recalled Onel Hernandez. Arnold Hernandez has been recalled to the Cuban squad for the game. Born in Cuba, raised in Germany, and then, of course, as you know, spending time now in England right now. And he will be one of the key focal points for this Cuba national team. From the Honduran national team, they will have veterans, for example, the likes of Andy Najar is going to be one of the key components of their team as well. Luis Lopez still remains a key component towards the makeup of their squad as well. And the squad that the Hondurans have, vastly domestic based, you could say a vastly domestic based squad, a team that have players playing in the Honduran league. And of course, they compete in going in the latter stages of CONCACAF tournaments as well, whether that is the Central American Cup or whether that is the CONCACAF Champions Cup. So they do have deep runs within these competitions as well. Honduras is a team that very passionate about football. Very, very passionate. Football is literally their life for all stakeholders. People eat, sleep, breathe football. And we know what we need to do to win. We know what we need to do to get 6 points from these first two games. We know exactly what will aid us in our journey, in our development, in our path. So, as I've always said, and I'll repeat again, we're 8 matches from the World Cup. 8 matches away from the World Cup itself. And this Nations League is our dress rehearsal. We have 2 games in September, 2 games in October, in the quarterfinals of the Nations League, 2 games in November. That's 6 games. March next year, it's another 2 more games. That's 8 games before World Cup qualifiers. Coach McLaren will have 8 games, you could say, prior to World Cup qualifying before the British Virgin Islands and Guatemala. 8 games. 8 games is a solid time frame where you're able to examine, make tweaks where necessary, and also have an idea of what you have and also what can be done. So at the start of the video, I said how this Nations League affects us. This Nations League is extremely important because you have Honduras right behind us in the FIFA and the CONCACAF rankings index. So results are incredibly important. Positive results, and we maintain where we are within CONCACAF. Meaning that positive results against the British Virgin Islands and Guatemala in World Cup qualifying will mean that we'll be seated very highly for the third and final round of CONCACAF World Cup qualifying. So just process that for a moment. 10 to 12 points in this group stage, and there's a strong chance we'll be seated very, very highly for the third round of World Cup qualifying once we get the results against the British Virgin Islands and Guatemala. Are you ready? Well, get your tickets September 6th, Jamaica against Cuba at the National Stadium. Start the campaign. Let's go. So, folks, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content.